Hi, John. This is Akash here.
Hey.
So what I find is that we are into the AI/ML space, data science space. So we help companies, startups with building AI/ML models. So if I have a MVP which I can show them, which demonstrates the model, then that is a great idea for them. But if it is more of a conceptual thing, like I'm like conceptualizing, okay, will this work or not work, just to see, it becomes difficult to maybe it is a communication gap or something, but it is difficult to pass on the utility to the other person.
Yeah. So you mean, for instance, you don't have a real sort of a physical prototype or a piece of software or a something, but it's more of a conceptual solution that you're trying to portray. Do I have it right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
right.
Can you give me an example of the conceptual solution? Did I hear you say communication problems, for instance?
No, so for example, maybe there's something that I was brainstorming with a few of the people, was that, like, for example, OTT is a like OTT platforms are a quite a rage nowadays, but there is no means of tracking their usage or viewership other than the uh, self-proclaimed data. Means the app or the platform declares that they have X number of viewers for a certain kind of viewership. So there's no third party which is doing that. So if we could get something, so that is maybe like a lot of things. Like when I talk with people in the branding industry, they find it difficult to understand what is the utility of it, and like so.
What seems to be the issue with them grasping the utility of that?
It's more like who will use it. Like, for example, if I'm a marketing person, I want to spend advertisement dollars on digital media. I'll be targeting, say, for example, I'll be targeting a woman demographic in 30 to 40 age group in a specific geography, maybe Texas or maybe Austin. So I'll be looking at that kind of a geography. I will not be interested in looking at what is their viewing habits. My thing was that for if a person is viewing certain things, certain videos or certain kind of a genre, they might have an inclination towards certain products.
Have you thought about ways that you could portray that in a if you have a prototypical customer in mind, have you thought about ways that you could prototype that service or that experience from the viewpoint of that user to show the benefit they would get? Is that is that a
Uh,
direction that helps
so
you show
I am
value?
not quite clear how to go about doing that.
Hmm. If I'm tracking what you're thinking about, and you're able to imagine an end user who might be using it to some benefit, and there's some outcome or benefit there. One thing that we've done to portray services to give people a picture of what they look like is to use using storyboards, and it allows us a lot of freedom because we don't have to go very technical with any kind of solution. We were able to portray that if the solution existed in a certain way, then it creates a certain outcome for the users, and that can be an affective feeling. It can be a way of working. It depends on what you want to have happen, but most people are trying to buy most people are trying to buy progress towards uh, some outcome that they're struggling with, and it's so if, to the extent that your service or your product is able to help people make progress on a struggle, then you can portray that in a story that would depict what could happen if they used it. I don't know if that's tracking for you, but that relates to the work that's sort of we've been practicing related to jobs to be done, which is Bob Moesta's work and thinking about demand side selling versus supply side selling.
Mhm. Okay.
So he's suggesting you would create a synthetic case study that says, here's an example of what someone else has achieved, and then you explain the process they went through and the outcome to give them an idea of what it would be like to use your service. And this could have video images, could be drawings, but it's a way to explain what's involved and what the outcome is, because most people actually want the result. When you say make something people want, it's not actually your product, it's the result that your product has on their business or their life.